What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another movie review. So, Mortal Kombat 2021 is now showing on HBO Max and in theaters. Now, the movie is inspired by the video game that came out, I think, back in the late 80s or early 90s. Now, I know there was a movie released in the early 90s, and there was also a sequel, and I think there was a third film. I don't really know because I didn't really keep up with the movies as much as I did the video games. I mean, I was more into the video game because it focused strictly on the fighting. And that's what got us excited about seeing the movie, is the fact that, we were able to see like these live characters fighting, on the big screen. So I'm not going to say that I highly anticipated the Mortal Kombat 2021 because production was very limited, based on COVID and everything. So this movie has been in the making for a while now. So I checked it out today, and I can say that it came out with a punch. It was very serious. There was a lot of bloodshed, just as you expect when you're watching Mortal Kombat movies. But at the same time, they had its scenes where it just kind of slowed down, just kind of took you away from, what to expect in a film. And so it's about this MMA fighter who's supposed to go up against like an outer world creature or outer world characters in order to take over the universe. Of course, if he loses, then they'll take over the world and destroy it. And so, how the story goes, we've seen the story like 1,000 times. And so, again, it's like there are different characters in the film that you had to kind of get to know. Like, they had to kind of grow on me because in some sense, it's like I was saying to myself, well, they don't really fit what I was expecting, because I did go back and kind of like read on the characters because it'd been so long since I played a game or even watched the movie. So I had to catch myself up on the history of it. And it was like I just was expecting a little bit more of the characters. I'm not going to really say character build-up because it was all there. It was just like I had to warm up to, the roles that they played and everything. It's like I was a stranger to it. So as the movie went on, there was a little hit and miss as far as the action fighting scenes and a blood gore, which is what I was looking for. That's what everyone wants to see. And so there were fighting scenes and there was a lot of dialogue. And the dialogue is what made the movie kind of slow down. And it was like they talked about having these battles. And it was like the threat of the battles and, who's going to take over the universe or whatever. It's just like they talked about that more than fighting themselves. It was just like they wasted a lot of time on some of the scenes that they could have been fighting. But when they did have the fighting scenes, it was good. It's like a little bit of it I had to like amp myself up about it because they didn't really do as much as I was expecting them to do. But at the same time, toward the end of the fight, during the fatalities, it's like they gave you what you wanted throughout the entire fight, if that makes sense. But at the same time, it was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was the best one yet, but it was good. I even took a break in between watching it because I'm like, okay, I could catch back up with it later. So to me, it was like the first 40 minutes of the film was really, really good. And then it slowed down for another 30 minutes. And then it speeded back up again with all of the action, the fighting, and the blood. And the story itself, it just kind of kept telling the same thing over and over. But the fighting scenes and the characters and the creatures, they got better. And also, there's just this other thing that I really, really don't care for in movies, and that is it's always this funny character. And it's okay to have a little comedy in movies like this. Now, this is just my opinion, but just a little bit of it. Like, don't overload the movie with so many punchlines because it just takes away from it a little bit. It's like they're trying too hard to be funny in a movie and focusing less on what the movie is mainly about. And it's like it can get a little tiresome if you keep telling jokes throughout the entire film. You know, I like my movies to be I like movies to be kind of balanced out to the point where there's just a little bit of that and a whole lot of what the movie is mainly about. And, you know, and then it's going to have its settled moments in between. It kind of slows down. That's how I like films to be. And of course, the ending to like give you something to expect. I always like a movie to, if it's going to be a cliffhanger, it's going to kind of set itself up for a sequel or another part. That's how I like movies to be. But at the same time, this movie, like, it wasn't like a bad movie. This Mortal Kombat, it was good. It was okay. It was like okay good. So I'll give it like a B minus. If I had to rate it, you know, I would give it a B minus because I don't know. I was just expecting a little bit more. But at the same time, I like it. I mean, you know, there could be another one. I think it kind of is by something that was hinted towards the end of the movie. So that concludes this review. Thank y'all for watching. See you in the next video.